Hello and welcome to StarPuppy. It's time for some spooky horror stories that come straight from you. This story comes to us from Aminet. I mean it. A haunting hair story. Me versus Philly braiding services. Oh no. Ever been scammed, bamboozled, and checked in 1 week? Well, welcome to my story of a naive girl who had just moved to Philly and was in need of some box braids. So, our hair story starts on a Wednesday morning, August of 2018. I had just moved to the Philly area a month back and I was in dire need of a protective style. So, I thought I should get box braids. Oh, how I wish I could have transported my go-to girl in California to Philly. In order to find someone to braid my hair, I went to Craigslist. Girl. Now, before you judge, back in California, Craigslist was clutch for finding someone to braid your hair. I had never had a problem there, so I never thought there was a problem there. That was my first mistake. If you are ever in Philly trying to get your hair done, stay away from Craigslist. I will. So, I finally found someone after spending an hour scrolling through different deals and hairstylists. I sent her a text and we were on for this upcoming Saturday. I was so excited to get my hair braided as my current style was withered and dry. So once Saturday arrived, my hair was ready to be styled. I had washed it, conditioned, and blow dried it prior. I was ready to see what Philly had to offer in terms of braiding. The plan was to have her come up and drive to me as I lived 30 minutes outside of Philly at the time. We were scheduled for 12 p.m. Once the clock on my phone hit 12:05 p.m., I sent her a text and she did not answer. 12:30 p.m. arrived after another text and still crickets. Once 1 p.m. arrived and she finally texted me back, she was unable to do my hair. The actual audacity of her. I wanted to pull my hair and scream, but I was like, Philly, please, give me a chance. I was a little desperate to get my hair done because at this point in my life, I wasn't comfortable wearing my natural hair, and at my corporate job, I hit up Craigslist again. And found a woman who claimed she did same-day appointments. I texted her right away and got a response very quickly. I told her my predicament and she said, "No worries, I got you." I smiled. I knew there was something I could count on, and she was willing to drive to me and it would cost a travel fee of $20. It made sense to me that she had to spend gas to get there and then get back home. I told her I would add that to the total cost of me getting my hair done. She texted me back and started giving me a whole story on how she required a travel fee as an upfront deposit, as in past people have scammed her into driving all the way up and then changing their minds. Oh, how naive I was. Like I mentioned, I was desperate, so I agreed to cash app her $20 up front. That was my second mistake. It was, girl, I'm so sorry. As soon as I sent her the money, it was total crickets. She planned to come to me by 2:30 p.m. and she still wasn't there. I called her. Do you know how hard it is for me to call people? She picked up and realizing it was me, she said that she was almost there and she was sorry for being late. So I continued to wait and now it's 3:30 p.m. and at this point I knew I had been scammed. I texted her repeatedly and no answer. I finally realized she had blocked my number, so my text messages were not going through. At this point, I wanted to cry. And my hair was still not done. Philly was trying my patience to the extreme, and honestly, I felt defeated. But my hair was not having it, so I had to do what I had to do. I went back to Craigslist. Girl, no! I honestly don't know what was wrong with me. Haven't you learned your lesson? Are you just dumb, or are you just dumb and desperate? Dang, that's harsh. After a few minutes of searching, I found a lady who did hair in a salon. So I would have to go to her, which was for the best at this point because I could control whether or not she did my hair. Since it was late at this point, we made a plan to braid my hair the next day, which was Sunday. I was cutting it close to work on Monday, so I was praying I didn't run into any more problems. Once Sunday came around, I was already in the Philly area because I had spent the night at a friend's house prior. I took an Uber to the salon, which happened to be positioned behind a barbershop. I hate when they put the woman salon in the back, but it's a whole other rant. The lady seemed nice, and she was finishing up a client's hair despite us having to plan to get my hair started around 10 a.m. However, I know things happen, so I waited patiently. I started to get a little agitated when I saw the clock hit 12 p.m. Not no 2 hours. I still don't know why I waited for 2 hours and not leave, but insecure me needed my hair done. Once it was about 12:15 p.m., she finally started braiding my hair. Now, you are thinking, this story has to end here. Alas, it does not. Now, any normal professional braider can braid box braids in about 4 to 6 hours depending. That's been my experience too. I told my roommate to pick me up around 6 p.m., but I would keep her updated. Tell me why I did not get out of that chair until 11 p.m. at night. Girl, no, she did an incredible job, but it was not worth the 10 hours in the chair. Woo! The reruns of different crime shows on the television kept me alive during those 10 hours. I'm glad I finally got my hair braided, but all the blood, sweat, and tears it took to get it braided was not worth it. So yes, I was scammed, bamboozled, and checked in one weekend, and this is a hair horror story I will never forget. I hate that for you. I've been watching a lot of these videos on like the Instagram stylist, like hair horror stories. I got my hair horror stories out of the way when it comes to like other people messing up my hair. It is, it's a different world out here. Not you getting scammed on Cash App. I'm so sorry. What do y'all think? Would y'all have given up after the first time? Because honestly, a big reason I started learning how to do my own hair was because I was so sick to death of sitting in the chair for like 8 straight hours. I hated it. I hated it so much, I learned a new life skill and made a freaking career. That's how much I hate staying still. This next story was submitted by Renee. Lovely. Hi, Danielle. Hi. I heart your YouTube channel and all of its weirdness. Why, thank you. It makes me laugh incessantly and it motivates me to continue to try to take care of my natural hair. I'm glad. I hope you're still hanging in there. I will keep my story brief, but the pics speak for themselves. I got box braids. I haven't pre-read these. This is all a cold read, so I'm learning this along with you. I got box braids at the end of July and wore them until the end of September. Yikes. Once the braids were out, I made the mistake of not combing out my hair before the wash, which honestly I've never done before, and I decided to try a friend's new homemade hair products. Big mistake. Oh, I'm so sorry. This isn't looking good. The result I got out of the shower was horrifying. I had a head full of, mess, tangles, knots, craziness. See pictures. Despite 12 hours of leave-in conditioner and my olive oil soak, I could not comb through my hair. I thought I would have to cut it all off, my beautiful fro, and start over. But thankfully, this friend felt horrible and offered to detangle my hair using legit hair products, and she was successful. The moral of the story: never use a friend's homemade hair products ever again. Always comb detangle hair after taking out your braids. May you continue to have success in all that you do. Best, Renee. Thanks, Renee. And oh my God, not 12 hours. I hope y'all are still friends because that seems like a time to bond, if nothing else. Our next story comes from Chelsea. Hi, Danielle. Hi. My name is Chelsea, and my scary hair story goes like this. I have, until recently, always fought my frizzy, suspected 3A, 3B hair. One of these battles involved getting a Japanese chemical straightening when they first came out in the early 2000s. Uh-oh. Well, my hair was so smooth and long and soft after, I felt like Anthony Kiedis? In the 1990s. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. But I noticed a weird feeling along my part, especially concentrated at the start of the part of the back of the top of my head. The start of the part of the back of the top of the head. It felt kind of pokey. Well, it turned out that the chemicals had broken a line of my hairs all along my part and was very close to the scalp, right clean off. The first year growing out this weird little mohawk along my part was the worst when it came to phases of it sticking straight up and only a couple of inches long, lol. I didn't do any more of those straightenings after that. I love your show, by the way. You are super smart and super funny and interested in all kinds of things. And watching your show just brightens my day in these dark times. I hope you're hanging in there through all of this. Thank you. And oh my gosh, I was seriously considering straightening my hair permanently like a couple of months ago. I was going through it. And one of those options, the top option actually, was the Japanese straightening, so I'm glad I didn't do it. This next story comes to us from Aaliyah. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Aaliyah. Not sure if this is what you're looking for, but my scary hair story is that I had a friend. Let's call her Rabbit, who put NAIR in my conditioner during a sleepover. I knew we were going to have a jealous friend story at some point because the misfortune of hair, especially in like women circles, tends to have at least one of these. That's terrible. When I stopped heat styling, I began spending a lot of time on my hair, and I took so much pride in my curls. I think Rabbit found this annoying and accused me of being stuck up. Oh boy, here we go. Because I was very particular about products, styling tools, and always telling her creep of a brother not to touch my hair when he'd try to pet me. So the whole family is your enemy. Anyway, one morning after spending the night over at her house, Rabbit seemed really observant as I brushed my teeth and got ready to do my hair. When I squeezed some conditioner, Tresemme Naturals, do you remember that from back in the day? I hate that they discontinued it. I noticed that the smell was really off. I probably would have shrugged it off and just used it if she wasn't standing there staring at me and acting all weird and suspicious. I asked her, "Did you use some of this?" She said no. I said, "Okay," because it smells weird. I handed the bottle to her so she could smell it, and she agreed. It did smell weird, but suggested that the product was old and probably safe to use. I told her I'd rather be safe than sorry, so I just put my hair in a bun. Oh, God bless. Woo! The rest of my day, it bothered me. I couldn't put my nose on the smell. I think it might be relaxer until I noticed a bottle of NAIR in her shower. I told her I think there was NAIR in my conditioner, and she first blamed her brother, then came clean and said it was a joke. We stopped being friends shortly after that. Okay, let me tell you something. The way jealousy is hideous, okay? The way insidious stuff happens, okay? The way fake friends are worse than a real enemy, it's wild. I can't say I have been betrayed by someone I thought was a friend in this particular way, but the very few friendships that have had an official nasty ending in my life, usually something ridiculous like this has happened. I am so sorry, and Thank goodness that you sniffed it and believed your nose. This next story comes to us from Rose. For my 20th birthday, I wanted to try something new because I never do anything new. I'm a typical basic girl. So I decided to do a hairstyle, cornrowed at the front with a top knot, a curly weave at the back. It was so cute, but it hurt. So my sister told me to take it down, the top knot, to sleep and do it over again in the morning. But I was lazy and in pain, so I was afraid I won't fix it back properly, so I slept. Anyway, all caps, I woke up on my birthday with spots of blood on my scarf. And guess who cried? Me. Just a little. Just a little? A little? Fast forward a week to when my scalp was no longer tender, and I felt as though I saw a bunch of scabs in between the parts in the cornrows. Oh yes, even more evidence that I bled. I've always been told as a child that when doing your hair, beauty is pain, but nah! Y'all just don't know how to treat 4C hair with love, that part. Fast forward to the second week and I was ready to take it down because I was over it. But I was told to keep it in for at least 2 weeks because I spent money on it. No. I know it hurts, but your scalp was probably hurting more, so I would have taken that mug out. I have before. Once, I think the only time I got a sew-in weave, I took it out in like 2 days because I felt like my scalp was being ripped. And even though it was cute, nothing's cuter than your body being in one piece. That's just me. The third week was when I took it down, but I wasn't prepared. Oh no. 1 like equals 1 prayer. Subscribe to save her. I mean, it was obvious, but my hairline, the one that was barely surviving, gone. I got a bald patch or two. When I took the sew-in out, which was in the back, I felt even more scabs from when I bled and healed. Fun fact, my friend did this hairstyle and recommended me to the hairdresser. And after I told her what happened with the bleeding and etc., she was like, oh, you'll get used to it. That's just how it goes. Maybe your scalp is tender? Where y'all finding these friends so I can not go there? Bruh, what? Exactly. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. No problem. This felt like a sting. Like something so terrible happened to your friend and she tells you to go there too? That's not your friend. What is with these friends? These are not friends, you guys. This is a setup. It's a setup. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Our final story comes from Pearl. Important info before getting into the story. My hair is 4C, medium density, and was very, very short back in the early 2010 era. Also, I was very young during this period and very sensitive, self-conscious, young, black preteen girl. I just wanted my hair to grow past my ears. Any setback brought me to tears. You? Is that me? I had to big chop my hair in 2011 after getting heat damage from a salon that knew nothing about natural hair. I got alopecia, stress-induced. Me? Is this you? My hair already wasn't retaining length. Anyways, I started getting my hair regularly straightened by a friend. She was amazing. She really nursed my hair and scalp back to health. My alopecia was gone, a true blessing. Oh my gosh, a friend who's actually a friend. But in 2012, I decided I didn't want to straighten my hair anymore. You know, cause if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So my impulsive 14 to 15-year-old self decided no more heat. My hair was healthy and I was terrified of getting heat damage again, even though I had the best natural hairstylist ever who had gotten my hair to its healthiest. However, I felt ready to have my hair be what it was supposed to be. Oh, I'm rooting for you, but I know it's a horror story. I rocked my little puff for the first time and learned about my kinky hair. I learned about natural hairstyles. I learned to love my hair and myself, and my hair had grown some. It finally passed my ears a little. Yay! It was a great summer. Unfortunately, my hair started not soaking up products like it used to, and the ends felt extremely brittle all of a sudden no matter what I did. I went back to my friend to see if she could help me. She washed my hair, blew it out, and said she couldn't flat iron it. She literally could not flat iron my hair. It was so damaged at the ends, 4 to 5+ inches, it remained unchanged when she passed the flat iron over it. Oh no. After asking me several questions about how I cared for my hair over the summer, she said my hair may be fried from wearing it up in a puff every day in the sun. It can happen. No. I also hadn't been conditioning enough. No, I was mainly using oil. No, sis. Oil is for locking in the moisture, not putting the moisture. It has no water in it. It can't have moisture. No. Then, what? She told me I have heat-trained hair. So actually, pause for dramatic effect, that's actually written, not having it straightened may have hurt it as well. The irony, the shock, the confusion, the reality all shattered my whole being. So again, I had to cut most of my hair off. It's a horror story because of how it affected me then. I was a 14-year-old with enormous hopes for my hair, and I had to go back to square one. 14, everything is the end of the world. I still have my diaries from when I was 14. Being the attractive girl I'd idealized and wanted to be by having hair past my ears seemed impossible. I had no idea what to do next, and that was horrifying. Not part of the horror story, in case anyone cares, but fast forward. I still keep my hair in its kinky state. It's the most unheat trained it has ever been. Heart. I had to chop off my hair 1 or 2 more times after the fiasco, but YouTube saved me. Yes, YouTube had me trying styles that people with 3B and 3C hair were doing, and yes, I thought something was wrong with me when the styles didn't turn out right. But I learned about porosity, deep conditioning, and the LCO method, trimming. I hopped on the protective style train, and YouTube taught me how to cornrow, to crochet, and to spring twist. My hair was almost at bra strap length, and the emotional exhausting that literally made my hair fall out is gone. Through the horror often comes enlightenment. This was definitely the case for me. That's why I love you, StarPuppy. Your highs and lows, personally with Fluffnugget, are like mine in so many ways. I love watching your incredible, relatable videos. Thank you so much for your content. A very zen natural. You? Is that me? If you have a scary story that you'd like me to read on StarPuppy for our scary October, email me at this email, and I will shout you out. Check out my Patreon, and for nerdy content, check out my other channel, StarPuppy, which has over 2 hours of content on it already. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. This has been me, Danielle, your resident weirdo, StarPuppy signing out. Say it with me now. StarPuppy. Away! Don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed the video.